I thought I had it all figured out, but God had other plans. The plan seemed simple enough. I had traveled to the UK to attend the Koinonia SOAR conference, excited to participate in the workers' meeting before the main event. After landing, I hopped on a bus from the airport, suitcase in tow, ready to dive into the day. But then, as the bus rumbled along, I got a message in the group chat that derailed everything. Suitcases weren't allowed inside the First Direct Arena. My heart sank, but then I heard something. A quiet voice, "Go to your hotel and drop your luggage." I immediately checked my map and realized that from where I was, the hotel was only about 30 minutes away. But getting back to the First Direct Arena venue would take another 45 minutes. It's not worth it. First Direct is closer from where I was, I thought. So, I ignored the voice, convinced there had to be an easier solution. Okay, I thought, there's got to be a luggage storage place nearby. A quick search on my phone showed one just for minutes walk away from the venue. Perfect. Problem solved, or so I thought, deciding to go with this option despite the voice I had heard so clearly. I stayed hopeful, praying quietly, "God, please let this work out. Let me find the storage area easily and drop my bag." I reassured myself, I'll drop the bag there and pee when I get to the venue. Everything felt under control for now. However, when I reached the supposed location, something didn't look right. Instead of a luggage storage facility, I was staring at what looked like a student lodge. I double-checked the map. This has to be the place, right? I was still standing there, confused, when a guy walked up and said, "Oh, you want to go in?" Before I could respond, he opened the door for me. Great, maybe I'd figure things out inside. Spoiler alert, I didn't. The porter confirmed it wasn't a storage facility. Now I felt the urge to pee intensify. It was like immediately I got the news. The pee welled up inside me, and the more stressed I became, the worse it got. That was my situation. Lost, confused, and now very, very pressed. As I turned to leave, I spotted the same guy heading out. And then, out of nowhere, I heard a voice saying, "Ask him about the toilet." Honestly, I hesitated, but desperation makes you bold. "Excuse me," I said, feeling slightly awkward. "Is there a restroom I can use?" He smiled. "Of course. It's just down the hall." Sweet relief. That was me a few minutes later. It felt like a lifesaver in the middle of chaos. When I stepped back outside, I noticed a group of girls with suitcases entering a nearby hotel. Oh, I thought, that must be the storage place. Excited, I rushed in, only to hear the dreaded words, "Sorry, we're not accepting luggage anymore." Defeated, I checked my map again. The next option was in Leeds city center, a 17-minute walk each way. My frustration bubbled over. I threw a mini tantrum in my head. "God, seriously? Why didn't you just make this easier?" I prayed. "Why couldn't you let the first place work out? The weather is cold and now I have to walk to the street of Leeds with a large box." Dragging my suitcase, I started the long walk, arrived there, and was told my money was £8. I couldn't cry because I had planned how much I wanted to spend on the trip, as I was really broke that period. I was grumbling almost the entire time on my walk back to the venue. By the time I got back to the venue, I was sweaty, tired, late, and honestly over the whole day. But as I stood there catching my breath, it hit me. God had answered my prayer, just not the way I expected. He knew the first storage spot wouldn't work, but he also knew how much worse I'd feel walking the long distance while needing to pee. Instead, he sent someone to open the door for me and gave me an opportunity to pee when I needed it most, and made sure I had relief before facing the extra walk. It wasn't the solution I had in mind, but it was exactly what I needed. That realization made me smile. And in that moment, I realized sometimes God's care shows up in the small, unexpected, messy details of life. I walked into the meeting feeling grateful not just for the solution, but for the reminder that he sees me, even when I'm throwing tantrums about suitcases and long walks. Even though I was disobedient, I didn't listen to the voice of the Holy Spirit to go drop my luggage at the hotel, which I would have avoided spending £8. He still cared for me and made me not feel uneasy trying to navigate a storage area facility because of peeing. Because imagine if I had to deal with the stress of peeing on my body and locating an area I haven't been to before. Indeed, God is a good father. He doesn't get angry at us for too long. He makes a way always, even though at times he allows us to learn a lesson, as in my case. I had to spend extra £8 because I was disobedient, but it was better to spend that amount to learn than to go through the embarrassment of peeing on my body. God sees me, and that's more than enough.